Having the right information can help one make the right decisions. As a retired FBI agent, Doug Coons was skilled at investigative work. He and his partner Kathy used those skills learned in law enforcement to open up Veracity IIR, where they specialize in corporate risk management and legal action support. Today, Doug shares more about how he got his start, where the name came from, and why trust matters so much in finding the right technology partner for his business.
Tell us a little bit about your company. How did you get started and what do you do?
Sure. We are a private investigations and security consulting company primarily. We also do some other research projects, but mostly that. We are mostly retired FBI agents. Me and my business partner Kathy retired from the FBI in 2018 and started the company. We got busy pretty quick and started adding some of our friends that had previously retired, and we've grown from just the two of us to I think about 14 altogether now.
Tell me a little bit about your work experiences and how that affected the creation of your company.
Well, having been in federal law enforcement for 22 years for me, and I think almost 25 for Kathy, it was just kind of a natural fit for us. I identified a need in the Indianapolis area for a company like ours, and did a little bit of research. And when I hit eligibility to retire from the government, we opened this up, and it's been doing well.
So what kind of investigations does your company specialize in?
We do a little bit of everything, really. Probably mostly criminal defense work. So defense attorneys will hire us to investigate, to make sure they have the facts that they need to make good decisions for their clients, whether that means take a plea bargain or to go to trial and fight that out. They need to know the facts independently from an investigation that we do, as opposed to just what the police or the prosecutor's office give them. We also do a lot of personal injury cases, civil torts. It's somewhat similar to what we did in the FBI. It just has a different purpose. So we're still interviewing witnesses, we're still gathering evidence. It's just the end user is different.
So how did you come to name your company?
Well, that was kind of an interesting story. I won't bore you with the whole thing, but we kept trying to come up with a name that captured who we are and what we do. So we would think of something and we would Google it or check it out. 99 times out of 100, that name had already been taken, and we wanted to be original. And so what we do is we seek the truth. We don't, regardless of who hires us, we don't seek the truth that they want. We seek just whatever the truth is. And so I started thinking about what are some synonyms for truth, and I think veracity. Now, again, veracity had already been taken, not by any private investigation companies. So to make it unique to us, we added the IIR. So our official name is Veracity IIR, which is short for Investigations, Intelligence, and Research. But IIR also in the intelligence community, it means something else. So it's a little bit of a play on that.
I'm curious, what else does it mean?
An IIR in the intelligence world is a document that is produced after gathering actionable intelligence and disseminating it to the entire community. So if you ever gather intelligence that's worthy of putting in an IIR, it's usually a big deal. So CIA, FBI, NSA, they would all be familiar with what an IIR is. So it's just kind of a play on that.
That's interesting. Okay, so you started with Kathy. Did you know her from the FBI?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Kathy and I have worked closely together for, counting in the private world, probably 20 years now. So we were good friends, are good friends, and we were both eligible at about the same time to retire, and I ran the idea by her, and she was on board, so we said, let's do it.
So when did you first hear about Swan?
Swan, I had met Alex several years prior, working on a project, and he and I just kind of hit it off, and had become friends. And so when we retired, knowing what he did, we needed a website, and that was the first project that we worked with Swan. Was he and his team helped us develop our website.
And what were the parameters of the project?
Basically, we didn't really know what we were doing. Me and Kathy are not IT people, and after I made some miserable failed attempts on like Weebly and sites like that to make my own, it occurred to me maybe Alex and Swan could help, and sure enough they could. The prices were reasonable, and I already knew Alex and trusted him, so started working with his team, and they helped us kind of figure it out. I didn't know exactly what I wanted when I started, but working with them, it evolved into pretty much exactly what we needed.
Okay, so did you interview other development companies, or mostly just went with Swan since you
Just
knew
with
them?
Swan. Trust is a big thing with me, and that's almost secondary to cost. If I have more confidence in the person doing something, I feel like I'm better off, and that's what primarily pointed me in that direction.
So how big was your team at the time?
Just me and Kathy.
Okay. How big was the Swan team you worked with?
I think there were probably 3 or 4 people involved in that one. I think it's been a while now. It's been like 5 years, but I think his name was Anton.
Did you go through a discovery process, or they kind of helped you figure it out?
Right. I'm not sure if I know exactly what they mean by a discovery process, but what I think they mean is they asked a lot of questions, and I answered them the best I could, and then I went onto the internet and I found some competitor websites all over the country, and I'm like, okay, I like this about this one, I like this about this other one. This gave me an idea to have our own thing that looks like this, and just kind of that back and forth is how we ended up where we wanted to be.
So you've worked with Swan for a while now on different projects, is that correct?
Right. We a few years ago ventured into the cybersecurity world, and we added a page to the website with that, with a place that people could actually request services that way, and the Swan team provided us with support on that.
What was your favorite part about working with Swan?
They're just good people. They're professional but informal, and it's not like you don't feel like you can't just call them or text, or hey, I've got a question. It's not. It takes some of the fear out of these things that might be a little scary to people that are new to doing some sort of an IT related project. They explain it well, and again, the trust that I have with them, I knew we would end up with the ultimate product that would work for us.
Is there any part of working with Swan you didn't enjoy?
No.
How has your product allowed your company to succeed?
Well, I think especially with the website, in today's age, everybody, when they need something, they go to the internet and Google it. And so say you need a private investigator in Indianapolis, you're going to get on the internet and see who pops up, and you're going to look at their website, and if it looks nice and professional, and it instills that confidence, you're probably going to call that one, as opposed to the homemade Weebly version where the widgets don't work and the contact us page doesn't get through to the people. So I think that's
Okay. Now you said that Swan was a relaxed company, but also a professional company. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How would you rate Swan's professionalism?
I would give them 5 stars. It's it's not. It's a little subjective thing. It's not a thing where to be considered professional or unprofessional, you have to be, suit and tie every day, and you have to make an appointment several days in advance and show up in a stuffy atmosphere. It's more about the interaction for me rather than appearances, and I can get on the phone and call and talk to somebody if I have a problem with something. Hey, the website's down for some reason. Can you get somebody on it? I'm sure that they will. I have no doubt.
So you said you were new to the IT world. So did working with Swan help you kind of get more comfortable working with IT companies now?
It did, yeah. And we're actually just starting to work on a new project. It's an app that will be helpful to make what we do more efficient.
Okay. Do you feel that Swan's prices are better or worse than are available elsewhere?
I would say definitely better, but it's not about price. It's about value. And so sometimes when you see something that's cheaper than the competition, I'm suspicious. I'm like, you get what you pay for, right? With Swan, not only are they cheaper, but you still get the high quality product. So for me, it's a value. It's not about being less expensive.
What would you say to a company considering working with Swan on a project?
I would say talk to them. I think after you get to know them and you see the same things that I have, you will also have that same trust and confidence in letting them help you. It'll take some back and forth, but ultimately you will get the product that you want.
Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today.
You're welcome.